Hello everyone, I, Ms. Bhavana Danesh Munod, welcome you all in Agricultural Development Trust, Shardabai Pawar, Mahila Arts, Commerce and Science College, Sharda Nagar, Baramati. Students, last period we studied about board question paper pattern related to 80 marks and 20 marks application based test. Now we are going to start with the first chapter in economics, that is micro and macroeconomics, children. As if you can see in this PPT, one picture is there. Yes or no, children? Okay. So this picture, that is micro and macro. That is micro and macro. Itself, what this shows? Macro is showing the whole world. And micro is showing what? Small individuals. Individuals are there. As well as factories are there. In short, this picture only tells us that micro studies and individual behavior, individual unit, and macro studies any concept in aggregate method. Aggregate means what? In lump sum method. So, this picture itself tells us that micro always studies small things in an individual way. So, it will be household expenses, individual person's behavior. Microeconomics will study that, and macro will study the things in individual way. Now the next slide, children, is related to Professor Ragnar Frisch, if you can see. Now Ragnar Frisch, why Ragnar Frisch has been mentioned over here, children? Because Professor Ragnar Frisch has introduced this concept related to micro and macroeconomics. Now what about Professor Ragnar Frisch has been told over here, children? That Professor Ragnar Frisch is a Norwegian econometrician and economist, and he was a joint winner with Jan Timbergen of the first Nobel Prize for Economics in 1969, children. So, about Professor Ragnar Frisch has been told, and he was born in the year 1895 till 1973. More we will know about Professor Ragnar Frisch, that Professor Ragnar Frisch was born on 3rd March 1985, Oslo, Norway. Died 31st January 1973, Oslo, Norway only. Then, children, regarding affiliation at the time of the award, means he was studying from the University of Oslo, Norway, and his prize was related to he developed and applied dynamic models for economic processes, and he did analysis on economic processes, children. Now see, what is his contribution related to economics? That Professor Ragnar Frisch was a pioneering means what? Introduced. He was the head, say starting he did, and he's introduced this pioneering work on economic model building, constructed theories for stabilization policy and long-term economic planning. So this is about Professor Ragnar Frisch. Why we are studying? To have a basic knowledge, because Professor Ragnar Frisch introduced this concept related to what? Micro and macro economics. And say he had studied from Oslo University. What he achieved? He achieved regarding economic processes, analysis of economic processes and model building related to economics, and he was awarded as a Nobel Prize, children. So this is all about Professor Ragnar Frisch. Now come to the next main part of a chapter, that is economics. So that economics concept is divided into micro and macro. Our first chapter is related to what? Micro and macro. Now see, microeconomics is derived from the Greek word micros, and macroeconomics is derived from the Greek word macros. So Lord Maynard Keynes in his book, see they have mentioned Lord Maynard Keynes in his book General Theory of Employment and Interest, children, Money in 1936 used macroeconomic approach to analyze economic problems. See, I am repeating again. Economics concept is divided into micro and macroeconomics. Microeconomics is derived from the Greek word micros, and macroeconomics is derived from the Greek word macros. This can be asked for fill in the blanks. Now, they have also mentioned over here that Lord Maynard Keynes, in his books General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money in the year 1936, used macroeconomic approach to analyze economic policies. Children. Now the next part, we will come to the next slide, that is define. Now define microeconomics and macroeconomics, children. But first we have to study only about microeconomics, children. Then afterwards we'll see about macroeconomics. Now the first concept is what? Microeconomics definition, children. Now see, the first definition related to microeconomics. Now the first one is defined according to the Morris Dobb, children. So how Morris Dobb has defined microeconomics? That microeconomics is in fact a microscopic study of the economy. So simple definition by Morris Dobb, because you have to by heart the definitions, children. So how Morris Dobb simply defined microeconomics? That it is a fact, a microscopic study of the economy. Then next point is what? According to Professor A.P. Lerner. So how Professor A.P. Lerner defined microeconomics? That it consists of looking at the economy through a microscope, as it were to see how the millions of cells in the body of the economy, the individuals or households as consumers and individuals or firms or producers lay their art in the working of the whole economic organism. Now this I will explain you. Now see, microscopic say suppose we are studying science. In that biology, if you have studied in 10th standard, we use microscope in practicals to see small tissues in experiments, if you remember. So slides were used. So here they have told that microeconomics is a microscopic approach. Now where microscopic approach, children? So here what they have told, for household things, say for consumers, then for individuals, for factories, for firms, for producers, they will have the art of studying small things with the help of what? Microeconomics. So this Professor A.P. Lerner has been telling that microeconomics is a microscopic approach. Approach where? To the producers, to the consumers, to the firms, to the household, then to individuals. So they are studying, they are studying microscopic study. That means the studying in detail, in small ways, in small parts. They are studying microeconomics. So this definition is according to Professor E.P. Lerner. I will repeat again. Microeconomics consists of looking at the economy through a microscope, as it were to see how the millions of cells in the body of the economy, the individuals or households as consumers and individuals of firms as producers lay their art in the working of the whole economic organism, children. Now this we finished definition about microeconomics. We are studying first part of the chapter, that is microeconomics, and the definition were two, that is according to Morris Dobb, and the second definition is according to Professor A.P. Lerner. So any one definition you have to by heart, children. Now the next question in your chapter will be explain the scope of microeconomics, children. Just listen it properly now. See, can you see the chart over here? That is scope of microeconomics. Now this scope of microeconomics is divided into three parts: theory of product pricing, theory of factor pricing, theory of economic welfare. See, I am repeating again. Scope of microeconomics, according to this chart, it is divided into three parts: theory of product pricing, theory of factor pricing, and theory of economic welfare. Now come to first part, that is theory of product pricing. It is divided into two types, that it is dependent upon two things: demand and supply analysis. Now product pricing means what? Simple example, children. If I am a producer, I am manufacturing pencil. What is there? What cost I will put to that particular product? Which product? Pencil. So which price? So what I will consider? I will consider how much cost raw material took, labor took, and how much production charges were there, transportation charges are there. Then I will put the price for the product. That is, for example, I have given you pencil. So this theory of product pricing is dependent on two things. That is demand analysis and supply analysis, children. Now, what is demand analysis? We all know demand means what? Customers demand. Customers demand. Consumer demanding for product. Now, for example, I have given you a pencil example. For that, what will be required? When my pencil is good, my pencil is giving good quality, 100% result, people are happy with that, it will have more demand in the market. So when more demand is there, what will happen? Production will be more. And if production is more, supply can be more. And when people are more happy with the quality, next year I can also increase the product price for my profit. So this theory of product pricing, children, is dependent upon demand and supply analysis. Now the second one is theory of factor pricing. Now see, children, there are 4 factors always involved related to production process, say, or factors. Factors are what? See, rent, wages, interest and profit. Rent, wages we all know, salary given to the labor, rent, interest and profit. So all these conditions, all these terms are related to what? Factors of production or theory of factor pricing. So in this theory of factor pricing, it determines what rent you get, what wages are there, how much interest you get in a production, how much profit you gain in a factory when your production is more demanded in the market and supply is more. But all these things are dependent on these 4 factors, that is rent, wages, interest and profit. Now come to the third part, the main part of scope of microeconomics, that is theory of economic welfare, children. Now this theory of economic welfare is divided first in efficiency in production. Efficiency in production means what, children? How much capacity the manufacturer, the factory will do regarding production. How much they can have production. Means using less resources, using minimum amount of resources and doing maximum production. That will be the first priority regarding theory of economic welfare, children. That is efficiency in production. Keep in mind. What I am telling, I am repeating again. See, theory of economic welfare, efficiency in production. Efficiency in production means what? Using minimum resources and doing maximum production. That will be there. That is called as efficiency in production. Now come to second part, that is efficiency in consumption. Keep in mind, the meaning of consumption means what? You spend money. Expenditure. Consumption has another word. What is that? Expenditure. So how much the manufacturer, the producer is spending on goods and services in transferring the goods and services in the market. How much cost the producer is having regarding consumption. That is noticed over here. And the third one is overall economic efficiency, children. Now in this overall economic efficiency means what? That whatever production direction is there, what to produce, how to produce, when to produce, who will produce and to whom should we distribute. These questions are considered in mind, and then economic welfare or economic efficiency of production is calculated or done, as I said. So overall economic efficiency means what? How much you produce, what to produce, when to produce, to whom you will distribute, distribution of production, say goods and services, and how much resources are you using. Are you using optimum resources? That also questions are there. So when these questions arise, that means overall economic efficiency is considered related to production part. So this is all related to what? Explain scope of microeconomics. Now this in a simple way, I have just explained you. Even if you by heart this diagram would do. What you have to write inside explanation of points is important. So I am repeating again. Scope of microeconomics, I will tell you, divided into 3 parts. Theory of product pricing, theory of factor pricing, theory of economic welfare. Theory of product pricing is divided again, means it is dependent upon demand analysis and supply analysis. Whatever production price will be there depend upon two factors, demand and supply. Then factor price relates to rent, profit, interest and wages. According to that, factor pricing of your product will be done. And the last one is theory of economic welfare. That means the theory of economic welfare, it tells about efficiency in production, efficiency in consumption and overall economic efficiency, children. So efficiency in production means what? Using optimum. Optimum also means what? Minimum resources. Using minimum resources and doing maximum production. Then efficiency in consumption means what? What you are spending, how much amount you have spent on goods and services. That thing also should be considered. And overall economic efficiency means what? What to produce, how to produce, when to produce, how to distribute goods and services. Are you using minimum resources? This all questions are taken into consideration. And then theory of economic welfare has been done. Means whatever production you do, whatever production process is there, you will not harm the economy. Save environment. Don't harm the environment related to production process. So it will be under guidance of economic welfare. So this is related to what? Scope of microeconomics. So in this video, see, again I will go through the slides. In this video, as I told you, we studied about what? The picture, that is introductory part. The picture itself tells us about micro and macro. Micro means small, macro means aggregate, large. Then we studied about Professor Ragnar Frisch. Why Ragnar Frisch? Because Ragnar Frisch is the pioneer of this concept, micro and macroeconomics, and he has won a Nobel Prize. So he is laureate in economics. Then related to micro and macro, from where these words arrived? So they are Greek word, that is micros and macros. Then definition related to what? Morris Dobb and Professor A.P. Lerner. Now definition means what? Any one you have to by heart, that is there. Then in that what we have told, according to Morris Dobb, microeconomics is in fact a microscopic study of the economy. And Professor A.P. Lerner has been told, he has told that microeconomics is a microscopic approach towards who? Individual, household, then firm, consumers, producers, as well as they lay art in working of the whole economic organism, children. Then we studied next about scope of microeconomics. So in this scope of microeconomics, what was there? Theory of product pricing, theory of factor pricing, theory of economic welfare. All these three theories are again subdivided into. Means theory of product pricing is dependent upon demand analysis and supply analysis. Theory of factor pricing is dependent upon rent, wages, interest and profit. And theory of economic welfare is divided regarding efficiency in production, efficiency in consumption and overall economic efficiency, children. Now next period we'll study about features of microeconomics, children.